G'day, gang. I wanted to talk today about food. That's it. Food. Right. I think that Western relationship to food is weird. Let's be real. We most of us overeat and undercook. Oh my gosh, my chair. Okay. Most of us overeat and undercook, and I think I think it's a problem. I think the way that our characters in stories react to food is really complicated, and the way that we react to food, because of the way that we react to food, is complicated. I think there's a lot of characters that don't respect food in the same way that we do in stories, in all stories. I think some stories definitely make it more complicated and weird than it has to be, and in other stories it's in we're lacking, the characters are lacking food, or not able to find it or grow it or hunt it. So it's definitely a different opinion in stories than we have at current. I personally think that the art of cooking is one of the most wonderful things that you can do as a family, and it's one of the coolest things that you can share as a couple. Even beyond romance, sharing as a couple of friends. I think that housemates should be more open to the prospect of going, hey, do you want to cook together? Because I think those are really back to my video about basic life skills, talking about how we have lost a lot of skills, and I think cooking is really chief among them. I think there is this draw about cooking and people who cook because of how much we love food. Why do we obsess and fantasize and just fixate on food, and we hate cooking? Those two things seem to be like the greatest of friends, and yet we're obsessed with one and loathe the other. What is going on? I think this is a really interesting topic to me, because I'm talking about myself up until recently as well. When I became a parent, I went, okay, I have to get my shit together, basically. Yeah. And I think a few of my friends are in similar positions, but otherwise, yeah. I think one of the easiest ways that you can entice other people is by talking about cooking. Especially if there's a lot of lonely people in the world, talking to strangers or acquaintances or friends and saying, do you want to cook together? I think is actually a fantastic bridge. And going through a loneliness crisis, we need every bridge that we can get. And so genuinely asking people, do you want to cook together, is awesome. Or do you want me to cook for you? I think is the first step to getting other people in the kitchen, is having them over when you cook. That's, I think, really cool. And if you're a single person, I think that is one of the easiest ways to become non-single, is to say, hello, I cook food. I know a lot of friends who have, that's all they needed to say. It was definitely one of the defining elements that worked in my early relationship, was finding out that my potential partner enjoyed cooking, and I was like, I like cleaning, he likes cooking. Seems like a pretty good combo. But now we do both, because we like working together, I think, and we work quite well together. But that's the bridge. That's the start. You need a bridge. You need a foothold. You need your first step. And I think saying something like, I like cooking, is a particularly underrated first step. Do you guys like cooking? Do you hate it? Is it a skill that you want to learn? Because it's the age-old question. Current new age question is, if you like food, why aren't you cooking? Genuinely. I think it's easy to say, I don't have the time, I don't have the money. But if you are smart about it, and you integrate it into your leisure time, and you make it part of the fun of life, and you think about it in the term of being a leisure activity, and I personally think that more of us should try to wrap our mindset around the prospect of doing life skills, learning, and progressing ourselves as fun. If you see progress as fun, it's so much less scary. And I think cooking is an entryway. It's an entryway into a new you, genuinely, unironically. I'm not even using stupid words. I'm being quite literal in that sense. It is not literal, but quite honest. I think those words will ring true if you start cooking. And I think specifically cooking, not baking, because baking is good. Baking is easy. If you can follow a recipe, not easy if you can't, but it ultimately does not have the same health benefits as specifically cooking. My advice for getting started, the easiest, safest, and most surefire ways, hot pots. No slow cookers. If you just get a slow cooker, put a whole bunch of ingredients in there, and just step back and wait for it to happen, you can pretty much start cooking just on that basis. So you can treat it like baking. Make sure you get your recipes right. Get your recipes online. Find the resources that you need online. There is no end of pressure cooker and slow cooker recipes. You will not have issues. And I think some of the best advice for learning how to cook is starting with ramen in a pressure cooker or a slow cooker. Just putting some noodles and some simple ingredients in there, and just starting very, very basic. It'll be a very, very high calorie meal, but it will be particularly yummy. So I think starting from there and then transitioning away from the noodles, like adding less and less noodles and more like vegetables in particular, because your meats are very, very good for you, but very calorie dense. So if you start like sneaking out noodles and some of your more yummier meats, unfortunately, and sneak in some more vegetables, you'll get to a point where you won't notice that you're eating an entire broccoli. For example, you will surprise yourself and be like, okay, this is great. But pressure cooker, slow cooker, those sorts of things are a really, really good start, I think, to learning how to cook, especially with getting comfortable with vegetables. Because I think most cultures current today, we have a weird relationship with food. Even cultures that have previously been just incredibly good about cooking and cooking together are getting more and more separated and more fractured, and these cooking cultures are deteriorating. So I think to learn your own skills in a family where you didn't cook together, starting to cook simply and with a lot of vegetables is a really, really good way. But while starting to cook a little bit of veggies and then putting more and more in and getting more comfortable with them, my meals ended up now being a lot of vegetables. And it's awesome because it's great for the nutrition of my entire family, and it's an activity that we do together. It's really fun. Yeah, cooking with kids is an experience. But it's pretty fun, and you can involve people. And I think that, again, you get good at cooking, and you can almost just pick up with that pickup line, walk up to a stranger and be like, hey, you're very pretty. I'm really good at cooking. Like, don't say that, but have the essence of this in the early conversations if you want to hook up. Just saying. And then transitioning that person into the kitchen too, getting them to cook with you, and then having your eventual family cook. Worked for us, and it's I think it's a really powerful thing that we don't think about. We need to think more consciously about food. We need to be more intentional about the way that we enjoy our food. We need to sit down and enjoy it. I say that also to myself because I spend a lot of my time sitting curled up in my chair like a gremlin, just shoveling my food in my face and watching YouTube. So do not recommend Don't do that. But yeah, cooking, food. Think about it in stories. Think about the characters that you like the most and the moments that you like the most when a character's in the kitchen and there's this, particularly when there's a maternal or paternal figure cooking, all the elements involved that make you feel like that character is maternal or paternal. A lot of the time it is tasks like cooking. And I think that with this parentless generation, we are losing that. So what do you guys think? Please, if you guys start cooking, tell me. I want to hear. Please tell me. Come back to this video in a few years and comment. Even if I'm not on YouTube anymore, I will see it. Please tell me that you've started to cook. I'm so excited to hear that. If you want me to talk about food-related content, but in general, even if it's related to stories, again, liking the video will really, really help. And if you want more weird thoughts from whatever it is that's going on inside my head, click the sub button. It really helps me. Thanks for watching, and please cook. Please enjoy your meals. I'll see you guys next time.